This is an absolute belter of a tip for you. Whether I should be telling you, I don't know. If you've seen it, you've seen it, but the chances are you haven't. And it's a little tip that, contrary to belief, I still fish quite a lot of day tickets waters, and day ticket waters can be very difficult. And what actually happens is caused by the pressure of anglers. And anglers, good anglers on day ticket waters, they're always coming up with new ideas to catch fish. And well, the last few years I was fishing waters with people who are using PVA bags. And what they would do, they'd fill the PVA bag, common, you know, a lot of people do it, fill it up with pellet, and then they will fish a bright yellow or bright orange pop-up or bottom bait on the hook. Anyway, after a few weeks of doing this the same, I was catching, if you're doing the same as everyone, you catch the same as everyone. And I was having the odd fish, but I was noticing that I was having the odd bleeps. As soon as I put the bag out, I'd have the odd bleep and then nothing. And a chap said to me, he said, I reckon we're being done all the time here. They're eating the pellet, but they ain't eating the boilie. And I said, you reckon? I said, yeah, that's what I reckon. So anyway, I started to think about this, and for the next couple of weeks I was just doing the same as everybody else, chucking it out. A couple of minutes later, beep, 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 as they hit the pellet and left the boilie, also believe. So I thought, hang on, let's come up with an idea that gives them the impression that there's still the yellow boilie, there it is, in the bag. But what I did was I actually put 2 pellets on the hook. So in other words, when it was out there on the bed of the lake, what would actually happen? The carp would come along. Oh, here's another one, dead easy. Free meal of pellet. Just make sure you leave the boilie alone. And once you leave the yellow boilie alone, bingo, no problem at all. As soon as I started doing that, I cast out, and instead of you get beep beep, it'd get beep 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 beep, because all of a sudden the fish had come in. He looked at the yellow bait. He said, leave that one. Sucked the pellets in, and what did he suck in? He sucked the rig in with the pellets as well. Absolutely super way of catching fish. Honest to God, on a day ticket, old day ticket water, where people are using PVA bags, that is really a winner. This very, very, very simple rig has caught me so many big fish in the past. It's caught me big crucians, caught me big tench, and caught me some big carp, and caught me some very, very big bream. It's the most simplest of rigs. And what it is, it's a floating piece of plastic corn and a sinking piece of corn. The floating is on the top bit, and the sinker is on the bottom. And all I've done is a piece of braid. It has to be braid because it's very difficult to get it to stick up on stiff mono. And what we actually do is, when you get it settled right, when it goes in, look, it'll sink. And as it sinks, look at it. The actual hook, the hook is nearly sat on the bottom, holding the rig up. So when a fish comes, boom, he's got it. Now, to set it up properly, exactly, I would say that just needs a slight little bit. If you think, well, right, we need it to go down a bit more to set that down, what we need is not the buoyancy so much. So if we chop a bit off the buoyancy, so a tiny little shave off the top one, tiny little shaver, there you go. Now we'll put it back in again. Let's just see what happens this time. Is it, oof, look at that. You need to alter it whether you take a bit off the bottom or the top. If it's sticking up too much, then the top piece of foam or plastic is holding it up too high. So you need to chip a bit away till it goes down. And that, look at that, that's perfect. What it is, it's not actually popping up like so. It's actually popping up like that. So you got the hook flat on the deck, and then that's sticking up from there. Perfect, look at that. And what actually happens, the fish comes down, can't see the hook at all, it's on the deck. All he's doing is looking at the top part of that like so. As he comes down, he sucks it up, got the hook as well. Bingo, the fish. That has caught me so many fish. Caught me big roach as well, because that is waiting to come up into the mouth. It's so counterbalanced. It's being balanced down by the hook. I've not got a shot on it. It's being counterbalanced by the actual hook. And all you do is trim bottom or top, trim it till it goes down perfect. And once it goes down perfect, it's game on. Look at that. There you go, sitting perfect. Sitting absolutely perfect. One of the problems, especially in the summer, when you're using hair-rigged luncheon meat, whether it be for carp or whether it be for barbel, what actually happens is the hair cuts through the meat. So what I've done is I've got the meat out the tin, and I'm now going to show you how to prepare meat so that you actually cook it a little bit, so that where the hair goes in, comes out, it actually seals the meat off and makes it tougher so it doesn't come off the hair. Let me show you how I do it. First of all, take your luncheon meat out the tin. Then what I do, cut it to size. Cut it to size there. There you go. I'm going to cut it down there like so. Now then, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cook it. But I'm going to cook it on two sides. I'm not going to cook it on four sides. I'm going to cook it on that side, then I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to cook it on that side. So that when we break a piece off, when we put the hair through there, it's going to be tougher, and it's going to be tougher that side. So the hair doesn't actually rip through the meat. Let me show you how you do that. In with the meat, in with the meat. And now all we're doing is cooking the meat. Now what I suggest you do is you cook the meat and do it the day before, because what actually happens, at first it's quite warm and greasy, but if you leave it overnight, especially if you put it in the fridge, what will happen, it will go more solid. And it's absolutely perfect then, and all you do is you break your bits off, what you need, the hair rig goes into it, it doesn't cut through the meat. Absolutely saves you so much time. Here we go. Let's see what we're doing here. Cooking nicely. There you go. Can you see what it's doing there? See it? Cooking it, making it tougher, but I'm only doing it on the two sides. I don't want to seal, look, I don't want to seal all the flavour in. All I'm doing, look, toasting it on two sides. So when you stick the hair through, there it is. You can break any piece off, look, any size you want, look. There you go. There's your size, perhaps the little size that you want for you to fish with. Doesn't matter about slightly burning it, no problem at all. Look at that, absolutely perfect. Right? Now when it's done like that, all you need to do is put it onto a piece of paper, tissue, like so. So that it takes the grease off it. There you go. Look at that. Now what you've got now, instead of pieces of luncheon meat that is soft all round, what you've got is this is virtually toasted. So that'll be tough. So what you'll do is when you want a piece off, whatever size you want off, a small piece or whatever, break it off. Put your hair rick through there, hair rick through, stop on, there it is. Perfect hook bait. It's soft now, but it won't be soft tomorrow. When you put that on there, it'll take the grease off. Look, it's already taken the grease off, and that will make sure that your hook bait will stop on. How many times have you slung it and you thought, I wonder if my meat's still on? I wonder if a small fish has pulled it off. Well, it can't pull it off when you've done that little tip. It really is worth the effort the evening before.